Rafizi Ramli as the economic minister, he's introduced certain initiatives.
Yeah, nasi lemak vendor, vending machine.
Do you think these initiatives are actually good, successful?
I truly believe Rafizi Ramli is has got a brilliant mind. But that was when he was opposition leader. Suddenly dia jadi government ni, I don't know whether dia kena kacau ke apa ke, I don't know lah. Suddenly I think he's off key lah a bit. I'm sorry lah Rafizi if you are listening, but I think you should improve, man.
So you would consider his performance to be lackluster or below expectations? Did you have high expectations?
Yeah. When I was in PH with him, kalau bila yang berhormat Rafizi kau bagi kenyataan, I will give my attention. But now bila dia bercakap ataupun ni, kata a bit off lah kan. I don't know what you've been eating, brother. I mean, you should change your diet or something.
On December 4, 2020, in the Perak Dewan Undangan, you told your former colleagues in Pakatan Harapan, I miss you guys sometimes actually, seriously. Do you have, or does Bersatu have some regrets about leaving?
No regrets. See, mari kita tengok sejarah. In Perak, bukan UMNO yang cuba nak jatuhkan saya tau. It was DAP, it was Aziz Bari, known fact. Right? And then suddenly, bila Perikatan Nasional took over as government, they call it tebuk atap. When Aziz Bari did it, obviously, you think tanpa kebenaran daripada Ngah Koming? Aziz Bari that brave? We all know Aziz Bari is a puppet to DAP, puppet to Ngah Koming especially. So bila dia buat, tentulah dengan kebenaran daripada Ngah Koming. Tapi bila tubuhnya kerajaan Perikatan Nasional, kerajaan tebuk atap. And then out of anger ke whatever ke, marahkan saya, dendam, work with, they don't need to work with me, they don't need to work with UMNO, tetapi mudahlah. UMNO pun faham yang kalau dibuat undi percaya, tentunya DAP takkan sokong, tapi UMNO juga tidak akan sokong. Akhirnya jatuhlah saya. So siapa yang tebuk atap siapa dulu in Malaysia after PRU 14? It was them. It wasn't Sheraton move. It was them. They started it. Orang selalu lupa. Tapi sebab idea mai tak nak marah-marah, orang tak tahulah. So do I miss them? Betul I miss them, because you see some of my colleague in the Exco, I don't have to name them, benar-benar perform. I can see yang benar-benar menjuarai isu wanita, menjuarai isu alam sekitar. So I appreciate that and I miss that. So saya fikir itulah, kita ni sepatutnya berpolitik sewaktu pilihan raya. After pilihan raya, we should come together and think about rakyat.
I have to ask, do you think Sheraton move was necessary?
Was there a Sheraton move?
It reported that.
I see, the reporting was wrong. We met in Sheraton untuk waktu tu there was some movement by DAP, attack by DAP to topple Tun Mahathir as Prime Minister. When Tun Mahathir mentioned many times that he will leave after the APEC meeting, but they were moved untuk jatuhkan the Prime Minister then. So we call our friends, look, kalau ada move untuk jatuhkan the Prime Minister, UMNO should come in and support the Prime Minister. The government should stay. That was the meeting is all about.
But I think Tun, one of the major issues was whether he would keep to his word that he will pass the baton to.
Siapa? Why are we playing God and say, oh, Mahathir won't tunaikan janji?
But given his recent attacks against
What?
Sri Anwar,
But he said
doesn't
he's
like him.
clearly facts. Fact were dia kata after APEC dia akan resign. But before APEC, a lot of people is attacking him. Fact. For that, the reaction was for me to defend my boss. I call some other friends. If they attack my boss, can you please help me? That's all.
So you're saying that he would have kept his
But
word?
this guy, Aziz Bari, went to see UMNO. You see, Peja is no good, no good. You are good. They were attacking UMNO, but suddenly they say, okay, I'll work with you as long as I become MB. Is that, bukan dia cakap, oh, you got to make me as MB because I need to improve the rakyat's livelihood. Tak ada. Tak ada. Dia cuma cakap, if we work together, Peja jatuh, kita naik. What does it mean? Untuk samun? Untuk apa?
So, do you think that Tun would have kept his word to pass the reins to Dato' Sri Anwar? Or was he talking about someone else?
I believe so. I believe Tun Dr. Mahathir. He told me many times himself. I told him, are you sure you want to give it to him? Are you sure you want to give it to him? He said, I have promised.
Why were you having doubts?
I don't have doubts, but the AP were attacking him.
No, I mean, you repeatedly asked him, are you sure, are you sure? Were you not sure that he would make a good Prime Minister?
No. At that time, a lot of people are saying Mahathir tak akan tunaikan janji. So I have doubts myself, so I asked him. So he said, no, I have promised, I will do it. I will deliver. I will deliver many times. And I'm very close to him then.
So you don't think that he was trying to keep his power in retain as Prime Minister?
This guy, in power for 22 years, resigned, darling. And you think he still want to hold on to power? He is doing things for the country, not for himself lah.
Do you think he's still doing that until today?
I believe Tun Mahathir is type of person who would die for his country, yes. Truly believe that. And I hope if I can be a quarter of his quality pun cukup lah.
Saya pergi dulu untuk sedih sikit ni pasal isu arah bersatu kan, dan juga PAS juga kan, Perikatan Nasional.
Masih lagi Kaabah.
Itu juga ya. So apa dia, proklamasi Melayu kan, Datuk seorang-seorang yang sign proklamasi Melayu.
That's not entirely correct.
Not very correct. Why?
Saya tak sign lagi. It was reported by, it was mentioned by Datuk Razali, our information chief. Tapi sebenarnya dia tak sedar. Kertas tu diberi pada saya tapi saya tak sign. Saya maklumkan pada yang membagi Tun Dr. Mahathir on the same night yang saya hadir sebagai timbalan Presiden Bersatu. Maka kalau saya nak tanda tangani, saya perlu merujuk kepada kepimpinan parti terlebih dahulu. Dan ketika itu saya tak ada mandat. Jadi itulah sebabnya saya tidak menandatangani proklamasi Melayu. Ketika itu hingga sekarang saya belum lagi tanda tangan.
Jadi adakah Datuk akan sign atau tidak?
Jadi kalau kita keputusan parti kita berpandangan bahawa ianya bukanlah satu yang melibatkan parti. Ianya adalah proklamasi Malay proclamation. Proklamasi ini hendaklah perkara-perkara yang disebut di dalamnya adalah berkenaan dengan perjuangan orang Melayu tentang permasalahan yang ada di kalangan orang Melayu di Malaysia hari ini. Apakah masa depan anak-anak kita dari bidang pendidikan, apakah yang perlu kita lakukan untuk memajukan bangsa itu. Jadi they are talking about themselves. Ini masalah keluarga. Jadi ianya bukan melibatkan parti. Maka kita serahkan balik kepada ahli-ahli kita, terserah kepada mereka sama ada hendak menyokong dan menandatangani proklamasi berkenaan. Sama juga dengan PAS. Kalau kita nampak hari itu Presiden PAS Yang Berhormat Tan Sri Haji Hadi bersama dengan kepimpinan PAS pergi beraya di Rumah Tun, dan Tun mungkin cadangkan proklamasi, dan mereka telah menandatangani sebagai individu, bukan sebagai Presiden PAS. Jadi itu terserah kepada semua orang Melayu, tapi saya fikirkan tak salah untuk kita menyokong satu perkara yang nak membawa kebaikan kepada bangsa Melayu tanpa kita nak mengambil hak kaum-kaum lain.
Dia mewujudkan persepsi bahawa walaupun Tuan Guru sign atas konstitusi peribadi, Tuan Guru adalah Presiden PAS, so dia akan hantar signal, hantar syarat kepada akademi bahawa PAS sekarang ke arah Tun. Itu yang mesej yang sampai kepada
dia bukan dia kita tak pernah sokong batang tubuh, kita sokong perjuangan yang dibawa oleh pemimpin berkenaan. Pemimpin yang bernama yang beramat berbahagia Tun Dr. Mahathir sedang membawa satu proklamasi untuk orang Melayu. Jadi kalau orang Melayu memikirkan perkara ini, perlu kita bersatu padu, kita memikirkan tentang permasalahan kita, bagaimana kita nak maju sebagai satu keluarga yang bernama Melayu, kita tanda tangan. Kalau tak nak, tak ada paksaan.
Jadi boleh saya kata bersatu silent berislam, kita tak buat apa benda dia, terpulang kepada ahli untuk sign betul.
Ya, ketua penerangan kami tanda tangan, seorang ahli parlimen kami daripada Kuala Kangsar tanda tangan, dan saya dapati juga ramai ketua-ketua bahagian, ahli-ahli di bawah ramai yang menandatangan. Saya nak cari satu masa juga, insya-Allah saya juga akan tanda tangan.
Adakah mungkinlah Tun ni akan makin hari rapat kembali dengan Bersatu?
Tun tak pernah tak rapat dengan Bersatu.
Kita sedang menjadi musuh politik dalam raya lah kan?
Tak pernah, kami tak pernah bermusuh dengan Tun. Kami anggap beliau sebagai negarawan unggul yang amat kami hormati, terlalu banyak jasanya kepada orang Melayu, kepada negara kita, kepada umat Islam. Jadi orang seperti pemimpin seperti Tun Mahathir ini perlu kita letak tempat paling tinggi, dan kita sentiasa menyokong setiap usaha baik yang dibuat, bukan saja oleh Tun, oleh mana pemimpin-pemimpin juga. Kalau perkara itu perkara baik, kita tetap wajib menyokong. I don't know. Number one, he never applied. But I think yang pentingnya bukan menjadi ahli Bersatu, tetapi menyokong usaha-usaha baik yang sedang kita lakukan untuk menyatupadukan kaum Melayu, untuk bekerjasama juga dengan kaum-kaum lain, agar kita dapat kembali meletakkan Malaysia sama tinggi, berdiri sama tinggi, duduk sama rendah dengan negara-negara hebat yang lain di dunia ni.
But if he did apply, would he be allowed in, and what would the conditions be?
Why would there be any conditions? Parti Bersatu terbuka untuk semua orang Melayu, dan juga kaum bukan Melayu juga terbuka untuk menjadi ahli bersekutu kami, dan kami akan tentunya menerima asalkan mereka mendukung asas perjuangan parti dan perjuangan parti. I'll send him the application form myself. I tolong isikan, dia sign je.